Hello, dear students of second year. Welcome to our channel ExamEdge Pro. The most awaiting guest paper has been arrived. ये गेस्ट पेपर पंजाब कॉलेज के सीनियर प्रोफेसर्स ने बहुत मेहनत से बनाए हैं. अगर आप यहाँ से तैयारी करते हैं तो 90% चांसेस है कि यही क्वेश्चन आपके पेपर में आए. आज हम इंग्लिश के गेस्ट पेपर की बात करेंगे. मैं आपको शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस मार्क करवाऊंगी अलॉन्ग विद द एसेस इन द फुल पेपर. आप उन क्वेश्चंस को अपनी बुक पे मार्क कर लें और यहाँ से तैयारी करें. तो विल स्टार्ट विद शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस. How did Churchill do his Latin paper? Why did Churchill not do well in examination? Which subject was taught to Churchill? Who was Mr. Weldon? How did Mr. Somerville teach English? What did Christopher do at Algolia? What was the most noticeable feature of the desert city named Gardaya? How did Christopher manage to get water? Who was Professor Claude? What is antiseptic method? What did Christopher do when he reached Timbuktu? What part is played by white cells in the body of human? How was penicillin discovered? Why couldn't penicillin have been discovered in the research laboratories of America? How did Pasteur discover the method of making vaccines? How did Pasteur cure the silkworm disease? Why was Mustafa Kemal sent to Anatolia? Why did Mehmet order Mustafa Kemal to return to Constantinople? Where did Mustafa Kemal's social reforms? What were Mustafa Kemal's economic reforms? What was decided by Grand Turkish National Assembly at the end of war? What was Mustafa Kemal's reply? Which was the first human disease to which vaccination was applied? How can we say that Pasteur was a great patriot? What do you mean by spontaneous generation? How did Earth come into being? How was food preserved in the past? What were the superstitious beliefs practiced by the people in the past? How is health another cause of the failure of students? What were unexpected recipients? What were the things the writer longed for but could not have? Why it is difficult to destroy books? Why could not the author burn the unwanted books? Why did the manager come to think that Leacock has had an awful secret to reveal? Why did writer go to British Museum? Why should bad books be destroyed? How did the writer feel on Friday night? What is the common cause of failure of students? Who are lazy bluffers? How has scientific method helped us in our fight against disease? Why has the world changed its altitude towards China? Write a note on Chinese women. How do famines occur? What was the Abbasid Caliph say on receiving the head of his governor? Who has Al-Hakam? What is the major cause of increase in population? What does famine mean? What is decentralized economy? After his misadventure in the bank, where did Leacock keep his money? Now we are going to discuss few questions about Mr. Chips. Very important. Describe briefly Chips as a teacher. Describe briefly Linford's meeting with Chips. Describe briefly Mr. Chips' married life. Describe Chips' first day experience in Brookfield School. Describe the death scene of Mr. Chips. Did Brookfield enjoy a good repute? Give an account of the dispute between Chips and Ralston. How and when did Catherine die? How did Brookfield celebrate the end of war? How did Chips measure his time? How did Chips serve Ralston? How did Chips take his class during the shelling? How did Chips welcome the newcomers? How did Catherine help Mr. Chips in his job? How did Catherine influence Chips? How did Catherine persuade Chips for the football match? What kind of people did Brookfield supply? How did Mr. Chips entertain his students at Mr. Wicket's house? How did Mr. Witherby advise Chips on the day of his interview at Brookfield? How did Ralston look? How was Catherine received at Brookfield? Catherine made Mr. Chips a new man. Is it true? Mention some eccentricity of Chips that he acquired in his old age, to whom Chips was recalling in last moments of his life. Was Chips' marriage life successful or not? Was Ralston a popular personality? What changes did Catherine bring in Chips? What did Cartwright say about Chips' children? What did Tetris read out in every Sunday night during war? What did Chips say to Lollygood George? What did Catherine say to Chips on the night before wedding? What did Mr. Chips do when the bell rang for call over? What did the chairman of governors tell Chips about his retirement? What difficulty did Chips face while writing his book? What happened to Brookfield in War of 1915? What is resolve? What job did Mr. Wicket do to Brookfield? What kind of person Mr. Lanson? What kind of books were read by Chips? What kind of novel is good by Mr. Chips? What kind of political views did Catherine have? What kind of thought came to Mr. Chips' mind? What memories of Catherine haunted Chips? What notion, belief Chips had about women? What what sort of gown did Chips wear? What was Chips' will? What was general appearance of Catherine Bridge? What were presented to Chips on his retirement? What was the April foolery Chips faced? What was the condition of Chips 15 years after his resignation? What was the contribution of Brookfield School during the World War I? What was the name of Chips' doctor and how often he visited Chips? What was the reason that led to the quarrel between Chips and Ralston? What was the social and academic status of Chips? What was the will by Mr. Chips in 1930? What were Chips' ideas about the Boers? What were feelings of Mr. Chips after Linford's departure? What were Ralston's allegations against Mr. Chips? What were the activities of Chips after retirement? What was the feeling of Chips at death of Catherine? What were the views of Chips and Catherine on politics? When and where Catherine and Chips got married? When and why did Mr. Chips retire? When did Chips join Brookfield School? When did Chips recall his memories? Where did Mr. Chips live after his retirement? Where was Brookfield situated? Where was Mr. Wickett on the day of Chips' death? Who was Cartwright? Who was Colley? Who was Linford? Who was Mr. Wickett? Who was the last visitor of Chips and how did Chips entertain him? Whom did Chips call stink merchants? Why could Chips not write a book? Why do the judges request Chips to rejoin school? Why did Mr. Chips like summer? Why did Chips not want to be the official head of Brookfield? Why did Chips resign again? Why did John Rivers favor Chips? Why did Mr. Chips not like Melbury Public School? Why did Mr. Ralston not like at Brookfield? Why was spring 1896 important for Chips? Write a short note on the Brookfield. Write down 4 qualities of Ralston. Write the death scene of Mr. Chips. Now we are going to discuss about the most important essays. I would like to discuss few essays that usually comes in the exams. Number 1, my hero. It could be my favorite personality, my best teacher, Allama Iqbal, Qaid-e-Azam. You can write anything under this heading, my hero. Number 2, my first day at college. Number 3, my ambition or my aim in life, or it could be my dream. Number 4, why I love Pakistan. Number 5, uses and abuses of science. Number 6, hockey, cricket or football match. Number 7, my hobby. Number 8, a road accident. Number 9, co-education, technical education. Number 10, visit to historical place or a visit to hill station, or visit to zoo, a day at riverside. Now we are going to discuss about some important idioms. Let's start with this. To lick the dust, come off, break the news, by fits and starts, kith and kin, the wild goose chase, with the view to smell the rat, in black and white, turn down, break out, at daggers drawn, cut a sorry figure, snake in the grass, better half, wolf in sheep's clothing, rank the file, look for, put up with, a narrow escape, face the music, end in smoke, a bee in the cap, hope against hope, break in two, cut down, look down upon, a blessing in disguise, heart and soul, in a fix, turn turtle, storm in a teacup, spick and span, close chain, set in, break with, go by, French leave, alpha and omega, to break the ice, bread and butter, a white elephant, Cold War, fallout, cut down, carry on, to carry the day, deal in, bag and baggage, fall off, turn up, above board, a black sheep, burn the midnight oil, carry weight, nip in the bud, at one's wit's end, put out, to kick the bucket, blow hot and cold, drawn game, lead by nose, work wonders, carry out, set aside, every inch, go back on, a jailbird, keep an eye on, send for, all and Sunday, bad blood, hue and cry, a royal road, between two fires, pass away, apple pie order, at the 11th hour, beat about the bush, call into question, take down, fall in with, a rotten egg, a man of letters, take after. Now I'm going to talk about some phrasal verbs. Please note down all the phrasal verbs. That is probably the last thing that we are going to discuss today. A dark horse, at 11th hour, a gala day, a fish out of water, a French leaf, add insult to injury, add daggers drawn, bag and baggage, by fits and starts, by hook or by crook, beat about the bush, bed of roses, better half, bring up, bear out, carry the day, call names, drawn game, hand and glove in with, heart and soul, hold water, in black and white, in a nutshell, kick the bucket, leave in lurch, loins share, lame excuse, lick the dust, look down upon, look after, look into, null and void, off and on, put up with, put down, pass away, put off, put out, rank and file, red letter day, run down, spick and span, storm in a teacup, tooth and nail, through thick and thin, turn turtle, take off